This is my son, Michael. He was 22 years old. He died of a fentanyl overdose. And this is him a couple of days prior to taking him off life support. Michael was very fun-loving. Everybody loved Mikey. He always had a smile on. He's always happy. Just a happy-go-lucky kid. You know, he's loved by everybody he's ever met, so it was a great loss to us to lose him. You know, he was very close to us. He's a very fun-loving kid. He loved everything. He loved all his nieces and nephews, and Michael loved to play sports. Michael was just starting to live life, and he was in construction for the most part, building homes and stuff like that, but he was trying to get into a pipe fitting career in the oil and gas, so that was his focus. It's a real shame that it got cut short, because he was in the prime of his life, where he's getting his career together, and Michael loved his family. He was very close to all of us, and yeah, he was a fun-loving guy. He also had a little boy himself. That's going to miss his dad over the years. There was a street guy that they had met. He veered my boy off to a corner store where the young man had proceeded to take my son into the washroom and put out a line of fentanyl, would have been pure fentanyl. And this young fellow was just so messed up that he couldn't stay around with my boy and stay with him, although he knew he was giving him a deadly drug. He proceeded to leave my son alone in the washroom, which they didn't go back to check on him or attend to him for quite some time after, which would have been too late. 20 minutes is the approximate time that he sat there before anybody realized that anything was wrong. So by the time the paramedics showed up, my son had already gone into cardiac arrest, so they brought him back enough to get him to the hospital and, you know, to see if he was going to survive. But the hopes of him surviving were already too late, because time is of the essence when people overdose. So, you know, they stop breathing. You know, they can only be, 7 to 10 minutes without air and before any damage can be seriously done. And as you can see here in this picture, the nurses and the doctors in the hospital were very compassionate and gave me that option to lay with my boy for a couple of days to say goodbye to him. And this heartache I wouldn't wish on anybody. There's lots of warning signs and stuff to know if your children or adult children are dabbling in drugs. Be involved in your adult children's life. It doesn't matter if they're adults or in their teens. You know, keep in touch with them. Keep an eye on them. It really has to hit this younger generation, and they have to be aware that it's dangerous. Any drug is dangerous now. The message I want to send out to everyone today, parents, teenagers, adults, is to not use drugs, not to touch drugs at all. I wouldn't want anyone to endure the pain that I've had to endure of losing a child. The only thing I can tell you is to not use it all. You know, let's try to stop this epidemic from happening. Keep our children safe.